Okay guys, it's a bit late, but I'm gonna take this Jag up north to my barn and swap it for my winter Jag. I just have to switch off the water here. What a So, come back from Vegas, and when I was in Vegas, I went to and as covered in the previous episode, went to SEMA. SEMA was great, not as good as previous years, and the writers forum the writers meetup was really good. I'd never been before, and it was very illuminating, and it was just superb. Really was great. Bit cliquey, but really pretty good still. So really worth going. I'm really glad I went to the Writers' Conference. But while I was there, I started to get wound up about this RV not being done, and I thought I'm going to have words with the owner. Psyched up, and I was going to go in like a bull in a china shop, and when I saw him I was kind of calmer, but I did get my points across because I think that's more effective. When you yell at him, he doesn't really respond well. Anyway, I've got a date. This is going to be going in to get the respray because it's the lion's share of the work. It's going to be soda blasted on the outside, and then once that's all done, it's coming back to get the odds and ends done, which is like paneling for this. Got the new refrigerator, mirrors for the walls, that kind of thing. So it will be done. It's just now coming up to we're just before Thanksgiving in November, and we're going to be coming up to December, and it's fucking cold. It really is cold. It's freezing outside. I still have water in the tanks because it hasn't gotten so cold. And one thing is this place knows their RV, so not to worry. They will drain it if I'm here or not. They'll drain the stuff because they did drain it for a while when there was a cold spell when I was in Vegas. And I filled it up again so I can shower here without having to go to the gym. So what I found is I have 3 heaters. 2 of them are, let's go back. This RV wasn't built or designed from the outset to stay in cold climates. It wasn't from the start. I didn't modify it to be that way. I'm not taking out all the furniture. I know it can be done if you watch channels like Yvonne, the LaCroix Cruiser. You'll see he's tremendous and he actually goes into all the stuff. But this hasn't been conceived that way. My logic is you start the engine and you go south when it gets cold. It's simple as that. But it's not simple, is it? And I'm stuck here right now and it's getting colder. But anyway, 3 heaters that I had from my days in Minnesota when I lived in this for a little while, and it started getting cold. And what I found, fortunately, is even with the heat loss, if you put the heaters on full, it takes a while, but it does reach the temperature you want. It's a bit like a 1.1 litre Fiat engine trying to propel a Dodge Ram. Compared to the 5.7 Hemi, the 1.1 Fiat engine will get to the 70 mile per hour, say, but it will take a lot longer, its acceleration. The 5.7 Hemi will get there a lot quicker. You have the heat loss, which is like the aerodynamics, or lack thereof, and there come a point when it gets so cold outside that this thing just basically won't get warm. It will just plateau at 50 degrees or whatever. But right now, with it being in the 30s and 40s outside, it's okay. It's using the shop power, which is fine. It doesn't cost me anything, so I can crank it up. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm entitled to that because I've been here so long. So yeah, the heat thing is kind of interesting. I actually went through a 50 to 30 amp cable and burnt it out. I mean, sometimes I trigger the the breaker panels, which is not a big deal, but I actually fused one of the cables because I had all heaters on, and then I put the water heater on for the shower. So trials and tribulations. I did try and run the generator, and there is a lingering fault with the generator where the generator only stays on for a little while and kicks off. So I do have to look into that. And after the respray, I've got it booked in to get the clutch and various mechanical things done, which will be cool. And then I should be ready. I do have to get tow systems installed to be able to tow the RAM, my RAM. Like, as I related, I didn't end up driving to Vegas. I ended up flying there. My black Jag is still here, and I don't want this to see salt. They haven't properly laid down salt, so tomorrow I'm going to do a mad rush from my barn, which is up north, and I'm putting the Jag away, and I'm bringing my winter car. The winter car's another Jag. It's an X-Type. It's all-wheel drive. I was involved in its development, so I know them really well. Unfortunately, it can't be flat-towed. The transfer case will get wound up, even though it's a manual. The Ram can be flat-towed, but it's a big beast. So I brought the Jag because I need to go up to Chicagoland a bit because I've got family there and stuff, and I don't want the Ram to see salt. I don't mind if the Jag sees salt because it's a winter beater. It costs me nothing. Cost me very little. So my plan is to drive 8 hours up north and 8 hours back tomorrow in a mad dash. Come back here. The family, the house where I'm staying, who I'm sharing with, some of them have got COVID, so I am staying away. I don't seem to have COVID. It's been a few days. I was going to get tested, but I don't think there's any need. I feel fine. So that's where I'm at, battling the elements. It's actually pretty cozy in this thing, even though it's a bit of a dreadnought beast. It's actually pretty cozy. So there you go. It's all pretty cool. I was messing around with the drone again today. I had some problems, but one of these days I will get you all some tremendous drone footage. This whole place is like a post-apocalyptic junkyard or scrapyard. It's great. There's all these RVs everywhere and old derelict cars, and there's a couple of my cars which are not so derelict, but it's all cool. Fixed the fuel leak on my Ram, by the way. That's really cool. Oh, and I got these handy little tables. I don't know if you can see them. They're swivel tables. Okay, that wraps it up for this exciting installment. Thanks for listening. Okay guys, it's a bit late, but I'm gonna take this Jag up north to my barn and swap it for my winter Jag. I just have to switch off the water here. What a dramatic episode. So I kept putting off going up north because it's going to the place where I was going to stay, the home. I got COVID and I seem to not have it, so I have to make it back here, 16-hour drive. And I decided, I ended up leaving late because it's raining. I haven't even left yet, so I didn't want to get a hotel for money reasons, but I guess I'm going to have to get some kind of hotel. I think I can probably use my points from my corporate days. I've got a few points knocking around. That's a good thing, I think. And I have to move my truck because it's here for convenience. That's the keys. There's the keys. Listen to a nice Cummins diesel engine.
No for business.
Shut up. Okay, now we go to the XJ. Should be all packed up and we can head north to wonderful tropical Minnesota. To think, a few weeks ago I was in Vegas. This thing started. Hopefully it should be fine. Let's see if the bonnet's still open. Let's open the bonnet. I usually find disconnecting the battery is fine. You're meant to put it on the charger on a tender, but I usually find this is fine. This is fine. As you can see, get this thing out. It's a 10 mil. Should be good. There we go. Now, I'm going to move this one out, take all the junk out, and put the other junk in. Oh God, talk about junk. This is nice. It's running fine. Good. Okay, so here we are back. It's about 2 in the morning, and with any luck, the bus is still there. Hopefully the power hasn't tripped or anything, as has happened in the past. So, everything's still open. Turn this bitch around. So I've swapped jags. This was the winter jag. Heavily protected against rust for whatever difference that makes. But it has so far. 2 days. But I made it. Now I've got a car I can drive when it snows. Because this car's pretty good in the snow, all-wheel drive. Oh, I am tired. I hope the power's still on in that thing. In that bus. Jesus, I think I'm going to go to sleep right here. Live fast, live well, live free. Thank you.